Welcome back to my class, students. In the previous video, we discussed the question answers of the second part of the chapter, The Glimpses of India. The second part is Kurg. So we discussed the question answers of the second part. Now in this video, we will start the third part of the same chapter, The Glimpses of India. The name of the third part is Tea from Assam. Before we start this third part of the same chapter, the name of the chapter is The Tea from Assam. So the Tea from Assam, this story is written by Arup Kumar Datta, and I would like to give you a brief introduction of this chapter or this lesson, we can say. Well, this story starts with the two friends whose names are Pranjal and Rajbir. So they are going to Assam, which is known as the tea country. And why were they going to Assam? Because it was their summer break. So they were going for their summer vacation. And Rajbir and Pranjal, in their journey, they discuss about the history of tea, how it was, and they discovered the tales also, the famous tales, Chinese emperor, the second one, the Buddhist monk, and they discovered how tea was first discovered, where it was discovered, and they reached to the, in this discussion, they reached to Assam, and where his father, Pranjal's father, it was the hometown of Pranjal, and where Rajbir was going there for the first time, and Rajbir did a lot of study for that, and Pranjal's father was really impressed that he did a lot of research before coming there. And when they reached there, his father, Pranjal's father, impressed by Rajbir's study, and Rajiv says that I will do a lot more study about this. So this was a brief introduction to the chapter. Now, my dear students, I will discuss the summary of this chapter with you. Summary of the chapter, Tea from Assam. So basically this story, this chapter revolves around the infamous beverage tea, telling us more about its history and discovery. The chapter starts with the scene where two friends, Rajbir and Pranjal, they both are set to go to Assam when a tea vendor asks them would they like to have freshly made tea, and they buy 2 cups of tea, joining almost every person in their compartment. That means almost every other person in their compartment was also having the tea, because tea is most popular beverage in the world. So now, my dear students, they start their journey. When they start their journey, before that, I would like to tell you that Pranjal was born and brought up in Assam, and Rajbir was going it there for the first time. So Rajbir was very excited. He did all that research also when their journey starts. So when the journey starts, Pranjal starts reading his detective book. He is lost in that. He just wants to read it, while Rajbir was going to Assam first time. So when the journey starts, the train starts. So he was enjoying the beauty, scenic beauty. The outside beauty was filled with the paddled greenery, trees were there, tea leaves were there, everything was green, so he was very excited. But Pranjal was not able to match his levels of excitement, because it was the hometown of Pranjal. He was born and brought up in Assam, which is famously known as the tea country, and so he was not that much excited like Rajbir, because he was going there for the first time. So he did a lot of study, lot of research about how the tea was discovered, and it dates back 2700 BC. That means 2700 BC में discovery, and it was, according to what he read, it says that China was the first country who discovered tea, and then it came to Europe in 16th century. China, they in Europe they mostly used it in the medicinal properties, तो मेडिकल वेज में उसको यूज किया गया ज़्यादातर. एंड in their journey they discussed about that there are numerous stories or numerous tales of how tea was discovered. The first tale says that it was discovered by a great Chinese emperor, and another story says that it was discovered by the famous Buddhist. The first one used it, liked its taste, and the later one means the Buddhist monk, he used it to get rid of the sleep. Why? And meanwhile their discussion was going on, they reached to their destination where the parents of Pranjal had already come to receive them. पहले से ही आ चुके थे वो उसको रिसीव करने. जब ये सारी बातें वो कर रहे थे कि कैसे डिस्कवर हुआ, कब हुआ, चाइना ने किया, 16th सेंचुरी में ये यूरोप में आया, उन्होंने इसे दवाई के तौर पर स्टार्ट किया, एंड इट बिकेम फेमस, पॉपुलर, मोस्ट पॉपुलरली ड्रिंक बेवरेज इन द वर्ल्ड. एंड देन व्हेन दे वर डिस्कसिंग अबाउट द टेल्स, कहानियाँ की चाइनीज एम्परर ने डिस्कवर किया, और एक बुद्धिस्ट मॉन्क की कहानी है जो पहला यूज करता था उसके टेस्ट के लिए, दूसरा यूज करता था उसको नींद भगाने के लिए. सो दीज टू स्टोरीज व्हेन दे वर डिस्कसिंग, वो वहाँ पहुँच गए, असम पहुँच गए, जहाँ पर उसके माता पिता, प्रांजल के माता पिता पहले से उसको लेने आ चुके थे, टू टेक देम देयर टी स्टेट, अपने टी गार्डन में, टी स्टेट में ले जाने के लिए वो उसको पहले से आ चुके थे. एंड देन व्हेन दे वर गोइंग टू देयर टी गार्डन, दे पास्ड अ कैसल ब्रिज एंड दे अलाउ वन ट्रक फिल्ड विद full of tea leaves, which indicates that the second season of sprouting tea leaves. And Pranjal's father was really impressed by the study, by the research of the Rajbir, and he told him that I am impressed. And then Rajbir said that he intended to look for more, or to collect more, or to research more. So this is the summary of this chapter, my dear students. I have given you brief introduction and I have told you about the summary of this chapter. So in this video, this is it. In the next video or next class, we will continue with the explanation of the chapter. Thank you.